Alright guys, this video has been requested by a lot of people on Patreon, and it's about time that I make it. I should have made it a while ago, honestly, just because how relevant the conversation is at this point, and because this is the time of the year. We need to know what these rookies are worth. We need to know how to value them, not only in startup drafts, because I know a lot of people, especially in quarantine, are going through startup drafts right now. We have 6 leagues already, and we are working on having a 7th. That 7th league is already almost full. If you're interested in it, make sure you go down in the Discord, shoot me a direct message, and we will get you in. But we're going to talk about what rookie players are worth, not only in startup drafts, but also in existing leagues. We're going to talk about what rookie picks are worth and what the individual rookies are worth themselves, because there's actually a difference that a lot of people don't necessarily understand. But we're going to jump into it. First, my puppy's going insane. Let me grab her. All right, I'm going to try to do the rest of this video holding her. Hopefully it works, but we'll see. Also, did y'all notice the new style of thumbnail? Point God did this video thumbnail. Super good. I know a lot of y'all talk to him in Discord chat. He's probably one of the most active chatters we have on there. Really appreciate him. Really appreciate the work he does for the channel and the amount of time he spends chatting in the Discord. But first off, let's talk about what individual rookie picks are actually worth, and not necessarily the rookies themselves. And where we get, I would want to say, confused when valuing rookie picks versus the individual rookie players is you have to look at rookie picks as kind of like your range of hands that you could possibly have in poker. I know maybe we don't have a lot of people who play poker here, but if you know anything about the game, you know you have the range of hands that could be in play. And I'm saying this in rookie picks as well, just because you don't know how the NFL draft is going to break at this point. And even if you're watching this video after the NFL draft, you don't know what your league mates are going to do in front of you. Obviously, if you're at the 101 or 102, it's kind of set in stone. You know what you're getting. But if you're sitting at the 109 pick, you're not saying, okay, for sure this pick's going to be Justin Herbert. Okay, for sure this pick's going to be Justin Jefferson. You just don't know. You have to look at, okay, let me see the tier breaks. Let me see the best player available that I could get here and the worst player available that I could get here. And so you're not going to value the pick at either one. And this is where a lot of, I want to say, misconceptions and bad trades happen. I know that someone sent a trade in the Discord chat a couple days ago asking what I thought of it. It was like they traded away the 101 for the 102 and the 210. And this is before the NFL draft, so I said, honestly, this trade's not, I hate it. Just because, yes, the trade can be looking like fair value after the NFL draft if nobody really emerges as a clear choice number one. If we continue to see just a tier of Joe Burrow, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Swift, Tua Tagovailoa as that top 4 and then a massive drop-off. If that happens, okay, it's a fair trade. You still don't necessarily win it just because the 210 is such a small piece compared to the 2 up top. But you're not looking at the range of outcomes. You have to understand the range of outcomes, especially before the NFL draft, of what that pick can be. Just say, for instance, we see a Jonathan Taylor or a DeAndre Swift be drafted by the Baltimore Ravens or by the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, neither one of these situations are likely, but it's definitely in the range of outcomes. And if that happens, that 101 pick suddenly vaults up to be worth a considerable amount more than the 102 because we have a consensus top player. Whereas if you're selling right now for a fair price that, say, there isn't a consensus top player, you're completely losing all that equity you have if we want to take it back to poker terms. But that's the first thing I want to say. You have to understand that there's a range of outcomes. You don't know how the rookie draft's going to go. You don't know how it's going to break. And the reason that these picks are so valuable is you can obviously trade them for whatever you want. They are pretty much straight currency. Once you take the individual rookie, say you take at the 112, you take, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Player X, you take Justin Jefferson. Once you take Justin Jefferson there, you say there are 6 Justin Jefferson fans in your league. You are then limited to 6 trading partners for that one asset. But before you select that pick, pretty much everyone is going to like someone there at the 112. So you're not limited whatsoever. You can go and approach 11 owners and try to handpick whatever you want in that league. And it's not necessarily going to have any depreciated value. So that's the first thing I want to say. When you're taking these rookie picks in startup drafts and when you are trying to value them in trades, you have to understand that the market for them is every team in the league. It's not only just players that are rebuilding, players that are looking for a specific wide receiver, specific running back, whatever in that range. It's every single player in your league, just because everyone's going to have it for one motive or another. So that's the first lesson we have to know when evaluating these rookies and rookie picks. That rookie picks are worth more than the rookie players themselves. I know it sounds dumb. I know it doesn't make too much sense, but when you truly think about it, they are currency. Everyone's interested in them. There's a reason whenever you send out in a group chat, hey, what's Keenan Allen's value? People aren't sending wide receivers that he's closely valued to. They're sending out that value in rookie picks just because that's the currency that everyone trades in, and that's kind of the set value mark. Now, let's kind of talk about where that value should be and why you should be kind of looking to trade into certain ranges where mistakes can happen, where you can see a small value bump with that pick before it's made, and then you can ship it off for there. Because this is why, if you've noticed across all of the Flock Dynasty startups that we've been doing this offseason, I've been loading up on these early second round picks and these late first round picks. There are a couple reasons. First off, you have to understand how the tiers are going to break in the specific year for these rookie drafts. And I've identified this draft as really deep, and I think there's a clear tier of 4, but after that tier of 4, I think the next tier end is at 10, and then after that, the next break is at 206. But when you load up on those later picks, you don't have to know exactly what your own tiers are. Because say I think there's a tier of 10, but what if someone has Jordan Love ranked higher than Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Then they take him and that tier slides down to 11. So when you load up on those later picks, you actually give yourself some room to increase value, especially if you buy them at a price that you think, okay, let me list out my top 11 ranked rookies in this draft. I'm going to buy the 111. Who's my 11th highest rated rookie? The thing is, most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, you're not drafting your 11th highest ranked rookie. Someone else is going to reach for someone above you, and that's going to slide some value down there. So this is just goes back to what I was saying. You have to evaluate these picks in the ranges of players that are going to be there, not at the necessarily a certain target player. You have to understand, hey, maybe at the 105, I do end up with Tua Tagovailoa. Or if I don't end up with him there, maybe I just end up taking J.K. Dobbins. You have to understand that these picks are flexible, whereas once you take that rookie, all flexibility is out the window. Once you take Jordan Love at the, just say, 201, and you don't have the ability to select a wide receiver there, how many teams are going to be interested in trading for Jordan Love? Whereas if you had that 201 and you took it on the block, how many teams would be interested in trading for it to get Henry Ruggs? So this is what you have to understand with the flexibility of rookie picks and why they are so valuable in your leagues. Now, let's get into what individual rookies are worth. And this is very interesting because I know there are a lot of idiots this time of year, and that's what I'm going to say, like especially all over podcasts that go, oh, why every single rookie coming in is overrated? I'm going to trade every single one of my rookie picks to get a veteran player because none of these rookies have stepped on the field and they're already worth X, Y, and Z. Yeah, that's true. They haven't stepped on the fields and they're worth that for a good reason. These rookies, they may be volatile assets once you have the player in them, but they are the assets that can accrue the most value across all of Dynasty. Say you take a player in the 7th round of a startup last offseason. If you take that player and he hits, I just say a hypothetical situation. I don't even think these players were necessarily going next to each other at the beginning of the last season. But you take Robert Woods and you take A.J. Brown, right? Just say they're going in the same round. Say they're going in round 8. This is just a clear example. Yes, Robert Woods hits. Robert Woods, what does his value do, even though he's a veteran? His value increases a little. He's now a 7th round startup pick. Whereas A.J. Brown hits and has a very similar season, even a worse season than Robert Woods, and his value spikes till at the very end of the season before the Titans playoffs run. I was seeing him go at the end of first round in startup drafts. So this is exactly why sometimes investing in these rookie picks, yes, they may be volatile assets. Yes, you may be getting a J.J. Arcega-Whiteside that is going to have no value a year from now. But my counterpoint argument to that for the people who are saying, oh, look at the J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, look at the Damian Harris, look at all these players that bust and hold no value because they're rookies. I can name just as many veterans that were in that same value range and at that same price that busted, and now they're worth less than the rookies because the rookies are at least insulated somewhat in the community just because people understand, hey, I mean, he was a rookie. He can break out later. He didn't have to do it this year. And a couple just off the top of my head, we have Marcus Mariota, Brandon Cook, Sammy Watkins, Corey Davis. I mean, all these players are veterans. Yes, they all had red flags, but they were around the similar price of J.J. Arcega-Whiteside last offseason. And they had very similar seasons. And who's worth the most out of that group? Obviously, Brandon Cooks is worth the most, but that's kind of irrelevant. He was going way higher than J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. But out of those 4 other players, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's still worth the most just because he's insulated, even though they all had the same type season. So essentially, when you're valuing these rookies, you have to understand, one, with rookie picks, they're always going to be worth more than the player itself. Taking the 101 in a startup draft is worth significantly more than selecting the player that we currently believe is 101. Like if we had in the flock leagues the individual rookies in the draft, I promise you, I would not own near as many rookies as I do rookie picks, just because I'm loading up on all those early second round picks, because later down, it's giving me the flexibility to make trades I want to make. It's giving me the flexibility to make the roster moves I want to make. And also, it's giving me the knowledge of the NFL draft. So if you're in a startup right now before the NFL draft, or even after the NFL draft, after the NFL draft, it won't necessarily apply to those really early round 1 picks, just because we're going to have a great idea of how that draft is going to go and how that order is shaking out. But this applies to later picks, later rookies in startup drafts after the NFL draft. And right now, especially, you want to be loading up on these late round rookie picks just because it's going to give you flexibility in trades, it's going to give you flexibility in roster construction, and you're going to be able to accrue value over the short and long term. But you do not want to be loading up on these second tier players in a startup draft, because I promise you that the price that they're going to be going at, those individual players, when we can see a Hakeem Butler fall in the NFL draft and immediately evaporate any dynasty value he had, I think those are a lot more risky assets than these rookie picks, because you're not having to take the player at a incomplete profile. You're going to know the draft capital, you're going to know the landing spot. So essentially right now, and if you're in a startup after the NFL draft, load up on those rookie picks. Right now is not the time to be going out and trading for rookie players if they're going at similar prices. But thanks so much, guys. Really hope you all enjoyed the video. As always, make sure you leave a like. We're going 2 videos a day. It's so important. I may drop a reminder at the beginning of the video too, just because I think I forgot, and I cannot stress the importance of it right now, especially with the NFL draft coming up. And also, if y'all like the thumbnail, if you want to see more cool graphics like this, go down, follow Point God on Twitter. I'm going to put his Twitter down in the description. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks so much, guys, and have a great day.